welcome. This isn't my channel. I don't really have one of those. Welcome to this one-shot. This is not Dungeons and Demigods. Fun thing. This is a Neverland one-shot. I've done these a few times before. I actually did this specific one-shot several years ago, but hopefully everyone's forgotten. So, therefore it's new again. Thank you so much for being here, or maybe watching this later on Maddie's YouTube channel. And I'm going to toss it around just so that everyone introduces themselves. So, hi, I'm the wasp outside your room, soon to be inside your room, Faye. Nice to meet you. Maddie?
Hi, I'm Maddie, and I'm the person who grew up being extremely confused by Jason Isaacs in the live-action version of Peter Pan. He made me feel things. Maddie! Stevie!
I wish I could say the same thing. Hi, I'm mentally still in the Honda Odyssey. Stevie Bones.
Justin.
Hi. Insert witty intro. I'm GM Justin.
FaZe.
Hi, I'm FaZe. I'm the crossbow that Chaperone shot at the VMAs and lit everything on fire.
Thank you for your service.
Anytime.
Excellent. So, we're gonna sweep into this one shot, I think, pretty swiftly. After I finish clearing my throat, oh my god. Anyway. As we enter, we sort of almost fly through the sky. It's night. It's humid and smells kind of gross. We fly past buildings, up, tilting up towards the sky, towards the clouds, through the clouds, towards the moon. No, let's go to the right. And and we zoom in towards the second star. Yeah, second star to the right. And as we get closer and closer, the shine sort of blinds you for a second until you seem to clear a bit and you see an island, a beautiful island during the day. Well, close to the dawn. It's creeping up somewhere. You can't quite tell where the sun is coming from, but the light glitters along the blue sea. The mountain inside on part of this island reaches through the clouds. The jungle green is vibrant and verdant and almost stings your eyes from the way that everything feels technicolor. And as we sort of climb down and fade and fly, we come towards a pirate and a mermaid who seem to be arguing a little bit by the beach. Maddie and Stevie, who wants to go first in introducing yourself?
I want to go first, but not as my character, but to tell you all about the really cool music. We forgot. It's okay, but I remembered. Y'all, what makes Neverland even more Neverland-esque is some really cool music. And I know that everyone here watching really loves D&D. And if you love D&D, so do you love the ambience that makes just every game that much better. And we want to tell you a little bit about a fantastic company who has a really cool Kickstarter up that is finishing in only a couple of days called Fantasy Plus. So Fantasy Plus has thousands of awesome music and ambience noises to make your TTRPG's experiences that much better. So I'm going to include the link in the chat and also in the description of this video where you guys should totally check out this Kickstarter on the last few days, support some small TTRPG businesses. These people, Monument Studios, are incredible. They are so nice. You've probably heard from a lot of your favorite creators about these guys already. Definitely check them out. They're going to be helping supply a lot of the music for Dungeons and Demigods as we continue on, which is incredible. Please check them out. They are doing some fantastic work. Now back to Neverland, using music and ambiance to take us back there because it's so important. they continue.
I love the idea that you're actually just, it's like one of those weird adverts where like you're saying it to the camera and then you turn back and don't acknowledge that happened.
No.
I'm just like, yeah, and that's what it's about. But Maddie and Stevie, who would like to go first in introducing their characters?
Maddie, you could
Okay,
go.
I'm picking on you. Stevie, do it.
Yes.
Okay. Hi. My character's name is Orla. She is a mermaid. She has a golden tail, auburn hair. Everything about her is kind of golden or sun themed. She's always carrying a bag with her. She loves collecting things, also stealing things. She will be sneaking over onto a pirate ship and probably taking some of their treasure if they're not looking carefully enough. Or anything that she finds on the beaches. She does sprout legs here and there and go walking. So she's on the hunt always for something gleaming and pretty. So I think Orla would be spotting this pirate and maybe stalking a little bit, seeing if they are carrying anything of value to her.
Excellent. Maddie, could you introduce yours?
Yeah. My character is Scrap. They're probably like a 15-year-old dude, real scrappy, lanky as hell, little bit of acne starting to sprout up just a little bit. And he definitely would be extremely easy to follow at this time, considering he is stumbling through the sand in a full panic, currently clutching like a canvas backpack to his chest, 2 swords to his side which seem far too big for him, like just clattering into his legs as he kind of stumbles through the sand, looking around him, sweating profusely.
The sun has only just like sort of begun to rise. It's like the early morning where it's like starting to like just take the chill and like the frost off of anything, like condensation. So the sand is also starting to get kind of toasty for you. I don't know why I'm imagining Scrap is barefoot, but it feels right, or at least like
absolutely.
kind of crappy flip-flops. Yeah. As you're stumbling along and like Orla, you're kind of following a little bit. You both like, actually, let's do just some little perception checks first off for both of you. See if you know. Well, actually, no. Actually, hang on. Just Maddie do the perception check because Orla, you know that Scrap is
My
there.
eyes are locked. Yeah.
Yeah, you're watching. I want
That's
Scrap.
a 16.
16. Do you want to try and stealth Orla, or are you fine if they see you?
Yeah, I think we're gonna just do a little stealth action.
All right.
Okay. All right. That is a 6. It's not so good.
6?
Yeah.
You're like a golden shimmering mermaid that's like a little bit too close to shore. You're almost like is poking out of the water like a shark. Like you're watching. So you guys make direct eye contact at this beach.
Orla just like rises above the water once she's like, oh, I've been spotted. She goes, hello.
And just immediately sprints to jump and hide in a bush.
Would you like to roll stealth?
Yeah. I'm good at this. Or I should be. That's like famous last words. A 9, which is an 18. Expertise.
I was about to say you just step into a bush and you're half hidden, but you actually step into like a almost perfectly Scrap shaped bush. Like it perfectly kind of hides your silhouette. It's full like silhouette shaped. So you are back there. Or like you saw them step into a line of bushes. That could be one of them that they are behind. but that would be too good of a place to hide.
I think she kind of like, she's on the waterline and she kind of like rests, like she's resting on a table, but obviously it's water, she'll go right through it. But she's just like, I didn't mean to scare you. You don't have to hide, you know. I just like a little chit chat. Early morning stroll, perhaps you're on?
I
Aren't you
don't have
lonely?
any money.
Nothing? Not even a little bit?
No.
I'm not going to steal it from you. I have things to trade. Are you okay?
That's a good question.
You looked like you were running from something.
He kind of peeks his head out, still holding that bag.
Did you steal something?
Myself? In a way?
Oh.
Listen, I feel like I just walked into the wrong industry and I just wanted out, but they don't really have a plan for that, so I just sort of left.
Oh, correct me if I'm wrong. You're a pirate, aren't you?
I was
Young to be a pirate.
I was more of an intern, technically a cabin boy, but there was still a lot of piracy to be had. I feel as though in a court of law I could still easily very much be tried. So, piracy by association?
Makes sense.
You two are having this conversation. Scrap is very stressed out. In the distance, you hear a loud crowing. Not too far away. It seems like it might just be around this curve of the beach, but around the curve you hear... I don't know if that made it through. Did that? Was that too loud? Awesome.
Just narrate it.
I felt it, though. I felt it.
There you go. In your heart, you felt this crowing. And as we hear that, we shift to not too far, but like a little farther down the beach, but also around the curve, but also farther around the beach. There are two lost boys. Could you please introduce yourselves? GM Justin and FaZe, whoever wants to go first. You're lost boys? Okay, GM Justin, do that!
Sure. I think when the camera does pan on down, you'll see this the small little tabaxi kid, roughly around the age of 10, colors mixed in with gray with what is it?
He is not a literal cat. He is
No.
a cat boy.
Yes. Yep. Where he, what is it? He's in just like a coat with some pants on, as he's just like probably down on the ground, playing with his little what he assumes to be a drake, or what is it, the little baby dragon that he found, as he kind of like messes with the wings that he has crafted onto its back. It's just kind of like, hopefully you can figure out how this works, and then we can get you to fly.
And then FaZe, could you introduce your character?
So my character, her name is Spark, and she is a yellow tiefling. She's got shoulder-length yellow hair, and she's about 9-10 years old. She's kind of in like loose t-shirt and shorts, but she's got like wraps all around her knuckles like she's a fighter. She's got a short sword to her side, and she's barefoot and very just kid outside playing Survivor, kind of like that. And she is sitting on the ground next to the drake and has a book that she pulled out of her backpack that she's writing in, and she's talking to the drake, like trying to figure out, you're not like any of the things that I see in my book, but that just means I've uncovered a new species. And so she's like sitting there writing like all of this stuff down. She's like, doesn't fly. And then she underscores, yet. She underscores it 5 times.
This
yeah.
fairly substantial lizard, like this is definitely like the biggest lizard on the island that you found, but it's such a unique looking lizard that it can't be anything but a dragon, obviously. So until those wings do grow in, you have like taped, roped, fastened somehow, almost like a little like backpack leash onto this little dragon. Have you given the dragon a name yet?
I would have named it Snow. Even though we don't see the snow, I have vague memories of snow, and those were cool. And I didn't mention, but my character's name is Winter, so I'm like, Winter, Snow.
Perfect. Reminds me of every white cat who's ever been named Snowball. This lizard is like sort of turning around. It's like moving fairly slowly, but this is also probably the fastest lizard you've seen on the island too. Like it's not trotting, but it is just like walking at like a normal pace on like all fours. And seems to be like trying to scratch up a tree for a little bit, and is like it starts turning around trying to catch its own tail for a second. It keeps on doing all these things of like just like seemingly not understanding itself either. Is there anything you do with the little dragon? I'm just curious.
I think for me, I would just watch it. I'd probably at this point, because I imagine like I was laying on the floor on my belly, and then as it kind of runs away and does this thing, I kind of like turn over where I'm on my back, but looking up at it, and then probably say, Spark, do you think it'll figure out how to fly, or the wings will grow in at some point? You were the one that knows a lot about dragons. I don't.
I am the resident expert on this island, so that would make sense. Should we try the wings thing again? And one thing about Spark is she's a variant tiefling, so she actually has wings herself. It's kind of sparked her interest in dragons, and so she turns around and she looks back and she's like, can you hold him? Can you stare at my wings again? Maybe he just needs to visualize them.
Yeah, and
Maybe
then
if he thinks about them hard enough.
I'll go over there, pick him up, and then like, all right, Snow, take a look and watch how they do it.
You point the lizard towards Spark, moving these small wings, and Snow just looks and then just like seems to just like fall asleep for like a nap or something.
Oh, that's
It's just
good.
like kind of likes being
He's
held.
growing. He's growing. That's good.
He needs to sleep, and you'll see it's like I put him in like there's like a hood right there.
Oh yeah, there's like a I was about to say like baby Bjorn, but no, like a hoodie makes more sense. Around the corner, not around the corner, but like around the corner bend of this little area of the island that you're on, you hear the constantly familiar crow of the Pan, Peter himself. You hear the crow off in the distance, and you see him streak up, and you see a small sparkling dot of like shining light start to follow him, and then circle up and go back down. And Orla and Scrap, you see the same thing. Does anybody maybe want to investigate that?
I would love to.
What if you guys investigated that? Do you
Can
want to
I-
walk over?
Can I ask what previous trauma I would have in regards to the crow and the sparkly people?
I'd say that in regards to Pan and previously having been a lost boy, it hasn't been too long, but I think the thing about the lost boys is that they got kind of bored of you. They didn't know what to do with you once you got so old.
Shit.
So they kind of stopped inviting you to things. and that line, or like leaving early but without you because you would sleep in, like even later than they would.
I ate all the food. It was really embarrassing. In that case, I'm gonna
But-
do a frantic investigation because I really want to go there. I
You
want
want to
to
hang
go
out with the
there.
boys.
That's a 3.
Oh, good.
Ah.
We got a 14.
Start trying to you have a pretty good sense of like, you know, where like Peter kind of went off in the direction, but you definitely saw the ferry circle back down closer to you, closer to the area that you guys are than wherever, like just the general direction of where Peter went. And yeah, Scrap starts kind of trying to climb the tree, trying to follow Peter, I think.
I'm saved.
Like, oh, fuck.
I think Orla, she's like, "Ah, I got myself involved. And now she feels like this boy's her responsibility. She's worried. So she's gonna sprout some legs. She's just gonna walk out of the water. She's like, "Ah, let's go find him now. Make sure he's okay. He looked like he was about to cry."
Okay, Scrap, you're kind of a little bit up the tree. I don't think you got that far. I don't know if you were a good tree climber.
This is much harder than nets. Nets are easy, they're for climbing. This is hard. I'm gonna come down.
Well, Orla, you know the general direction that the ferry is, and the general direction of where Pan went, but better idea where the ferry is. Unless you want to investigate Pan first. I'm not a cop.
Since she has a good understanding of where the ferry went, I think she'll go for the ferry.
Okay.
We missed him. Better luck next time. Eyes to the skies.
So-
Winter.
So, real quick, does she have sight of Scrap right now?
Yeah, I climbed back
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
A
So
little
she
window.
was able to climb up on land. She was like,
Yeah.
You're looking for Peter."
You have legs.
"Yeah, it's a thing. You ran away. So
Yeah.
I don't like it, trust me. I don't want to be here, but you seem upset, and that now makes me upset. So if I could, I'd help you. If you're looking for Peter, I could help."
Why?
"I want to know what's in your bag."
You can look if you want.
"I can." She's gonna, like, hold out her hands. She's gonna look in it.
Let me look at my
Is there anything-
inventory. Probably the shiniest thing in there would be a pirate's spyglass. It's kind of like a brass. It's real chipped.
She doesn't have one of these, but she sees it. She pulls it out. Doesn't know how to use it, so she's just like moving it around, holding it up to the light. She's like, "This is perfect."
For what?
All right, I'll help
Also,
you.
you just kind of hold, and I direct her hands to her eye, goes like, so you can see far away.
It's even better than what I thought. She's like totally mind blown at this point with this new object. She thought it was just for catching light and being sparkly, and now it does a whole new thing. So she's
Functional and beautiful.
I almost wish that Scrap also didn't know how it worked and did like the things from the Little Mermaid of like, you can make things look really far away.
It's an instrument, actually.
Instrument.
Yeah, no, with that you've won Orla, and she is like bound to you now.
I wasn't really
then-
giving. You know what? Sure. Beggars can't be choosers.
Then Winter and Spark, you hear and see the same thing. Do you want to roll maybe a perception check, see if you can also figure out the general direction?
I would love to roll a perception check.
Absolutely. I think as we see that happen,
That's a
like,
6.
Spark, was that Tinkerbell that went down? Or that doesn't normally happen, not from what I remember.
I didn't see anything. I rolled a 6.
You thought that crow that Peter constantly does, that's just that must be just another bird then.
It's a
Like-
dragon.
Oh my god.
It's a dragon. I found another one
No,
on the beach.
No, it was. I think it was Tinkerbell. I got a 22, by the way.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, you know the exact spot. Like, this is like a regular, like, meet up, take off, make plans, if plans can actually be established. You know exactly what spot it is on the beach. You know exactly where it is.
Okay. And then I'm just gonna like pull like the little cloth to kind of tighten up my hood and be like, Spark, follow me. Let's go. And then just take on.
Boy. I shove my book in my backpack and I throw it in my back and I sprint after him.
You're going, and both these groups converge on a third squabbling group of other Lost Boys. And of course, as Lost Boys and a former Lost Boy, and someone who does business often with the Lost Boys and Peter Pan and such, you of course know these guys. There's Lipface, there's Hustle, there's Weekly, and there's Tumblr. You know all of these guys. They're in a they're in some sort of a squabble between each other on this day that is currently looking to be a beautiful one for a game. They seem to be fighting over what game they're going to play, arguing about how they're meant to play Peter's game. You start to overhear them. I think it's a double bluff. The figuring out of the game is the game. No, I think it must be a really big bird. If it's a really big bird, then it'd be a fast one. Big one. Fast one. Do you think perchance 'tis not a game, but rather a return to a level of memory that lies beyond Peter's grasp? Big one! And it keeps going on and going on. They're trying to figure out how to capture some bird. And whirling around for a second and then just seeming to like buzz between activity of the Lost Boys is Tinkerbell, who none of the Lost Boys seems to be actually paying attention to, since Peter isn't really here to interpret for her. But she's buzzing between these different colors that you kind of understand a bit of, like orange and indigo and red, and sort of flipping between anger, fear, worry. Anger, fear, worry. And before too long, just sort of scurries off and starts to notice you two groups sort of approach and buzzing off a little closer to the tree line, away from the Lost Boys. What would you guys like to do?
Hi! Sorry.
Intruder alert!
Not an intruder. Hi.
Oh, that's an old person.
Yeah, sorry.
Old people!
That's 2 old people.
Oh my god,
Two
you're
old
ancient.
people.
That's extremely
Sorry.
rude.
What are you, like 15?
We
Yeah.
thought you died!
No, I got kidnapped.
Old age.
What?
I was actually
You were
trying
just
to go
laying
back
there.
home, and, you know, like you told me to, and then I got apprehended and was
How do you
held
get
hostage.
kidnapped? You're old.
Someone
This game seems like a skill issue to me.
Skillish.
There wasn't a lot of nutrition on board, and my complexion didn't really agree with the. Listen, I don't want to get into it.
Oh, suddenly you're too good to eat pine covered in honey. Can't eat pine cone honey nuts.
It was actually a lot of just fish bones in water.
Fish bones in water.
That's the best
What?
part.
No, it isn't actually. Anyways,
Listen.
I just wanted to extend a plea of refuge.
You're gonna
Harley?
watch as Snow like stomps on over there to the both of you and say, "You riddle me this: how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?"
Quite a bit, considering he's in the field. Oh,
I don't care much for riddles. I have no idea.
Damn. Okay. And then you're gonna see as like kind of walks away. It's like I have nothing. I was hoping they'd answer that question. It's been bugging me for a while.
Spark has her notebook out, like, wait for the answer, and then she doesn't get the answer. She puts the
I
notebook back in.
would personally say quite a bit, considering he is a woodchuck, therefore in the field, maybe a professional in fact, and therefore probably a substantial amount as to receive the title. Did I pass?
Sounds like
I
a
don't know.
good answer.
Spark, what do you think? Did I pass?
What substantial mean?
A lot.
Ah,
I just want to point out, I'm still considered a
Possibly.
minor, so I'm not have
you're
grown
on
up.
thin ice.
Yeah, a
Don't
little
even
bit.
have an axe.
Huh?
You don't have an axe.
I have a sword. 2, actually.
Well, I've never been mining, so I don't know.
Okay.
Are you gonna help us figure out Peter's game? We can let you back
Ooh.
in if you can help.
Absolutely. Do we have clues?
Well, he seemed in a bit of a tizzy this morning. Found some sort of thing in the corner of the lost. In the can't remember what our own little tree is called, but our own little tree. You know, place where we sleep.
The one that grows caterpillars.
Yeah, that one. They'll hatch one day, I know. He found something in the corner, and then started seemed to be thinking real hard, trying to remember, and then he started flying off, and we were chasing him, thought it must be a great game if he's this excited about it. Got to the beach, started looking around, looking up to the sky, looking for a Wendy bird. Don't know what a Wendy bird is, but if it's that exciting to catch one, we should try and I mean, if we can catch one before Peter can catch one, obviously we'll win the game, and without a doubt, Wendy bird will be delicious. Seems like a win-win situation.
Alright.
Okay. Okay.
Excellent.
But I'm watching you two. He points over to there. I don't know how old you are, and if I could count, I could count.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm not a pirate. I'm a mermaid. The legs are
A
temporary.
mermaid?
If we get near some water, I could show you.
That's what a mermaid would want us to think.
Exactly.
I'm on Winter's side.
I have bartered
Either
for
of
her
them.
not to kill us. She has a spyglass.
She was gonna kill us?
I'm
She
not
wasn't
sure of
going
her
to.
previous intentions, but I feel as though that threat has been neutralized.
I only wanted a trinket inside of his bag, and I do have it now. It's this pretty little cylinder thing.
But
I
also,
thought
Is
it'd
it-
catch light.
Is
You
it
don't
because
wanna
we
kill
kept
me.
on taking the seashells?
I was angry, but I wasn't that angry.
I've been surrounded by people who wish for bad things to happen to just about everyone. I tend to lean towards extremes.
Whose ship were you on?
There's only one.
There is only one pirate.
Well, okay. You worked with Captain Hook?
Captain Hook!
Captain Hook.
I wouldn't say work with, more like prisoner of.
Okay. He's the one who kidnapped you?
Yep.
Okay, then so he's going to be looking for you? Were you very important
say-
to him?
No, I would say I would have at least a day before they noticed I was missing. Maybe. It depends if they need something. Really. But
Can anyone do a perception check?
Yeah.
17. Better than last time.
11.
Also 17.
Oh.
It was a natural 1, so once again, I do
Ah.
not see anything.
The adults have it. You, I think, are facing towards one of the little like bigger rocks right at the border of the tree line, where you see that Tinkerbell is sitting there. She stopped flying around the Lost Boys, sort of flitting between emotions, and is just sort of sitting there, but keeps on looking up towards the sky, but not towards like the water, towards the tree line. Looks like she's pretty steadily like flitted, like marbling of like orange and indigo, of like fear and worry. She's very anxious right now, and she's looking like she's about to like fly off.
So, I say to Tinkerbell, is the bird a predator of some kind? Should we be worried? I'm going to assume you're looking for the what did you say? Wembley bird?
She sort of like crosses her arms and starts to turn a little bit red, almost pinkish, and like nods her head a little bit. Looks a little bit you can't actually understand her. She sounds like the sound of a bell. But there's like an angry sort of chiming of like almost like she's talking to herself because she knows you can't understand her, and is just irritated in that fashion of like irritated about whatever this bird is.
Alright, how about danger?
Shakes head,
Alright,
and then
that's a good sign.
thinks a second and says,
A grey area. Should we go help find this? Do you know where it is? Sorry, that was 2 questions.
When you say the first question, she starts shaking her head, and then you ask if she knows where it is, and she nods her head.
Where? Maybe just a point. Northwest, south.
He floats up a little bit and looks at all 4 of you, because the other 4 are back to arguing with each other, and puts a finger to her lips. Does that.
So, we don't go find the bird or you'll kill us?
No, I think she's saying that we should kill the Wendy bird.
Or maybe that we should go find it, but not to say anything about it.
Did make this motion. That seems pretty hostile. She does
That
look.
looks like she's ready to fight.
Who are you wanting to fight, Tinkerbell?
Oh, she's
bird?
strong.
Okay. First
Well,
word.
I think we should be off join to find the Wendy bird, because it could be a dragon. If it flies like a bird, it could also fly like a dragon.
I think
Right, Tinkerbell?
what I've gained from this is we are to at least cautiously find the bird and possibly intimidate it physically. Whether this is to what extreme, I think we should play by ear.
You
So-
said a lot of things, but I'm here. Let's go.
Okay.
Wow, those are a lot of words. Too bad I don't know any of them. So you set off into the woods, Tinkerbell kind of guiding you a little bit. It's a little bit chaotic since she can fly and she doesn't really give her pixie dust out if she can help it, unless Peter pulls her wing. And you are sort of in this sort of zigzag pattern of walking through the jungle. It's hard to really you can't think of anyone who really knows the island other than Peter, of course. So everything always looks a little bit disorienting. Even if you've been there 100 times, it never looks quite the same the second time. As you're walking down this path, it gets a little bit... Let's do another perception check. Or actually, first, let's do a survival check. Hee.
This is bad. 12. Okay.
A 16. I'm proficient in survival, as I've had to survive through much hardship.
Reminds me of the Amazon.
That's for the episode. I swear to God.
I swear to God. We've been watching too much Smosh.
Okay, we need
Okay.
to move on swiftly.
11.
17.
Okay,
Sorry.
so... No, you're good. Justin and Maddie, you get advantage on your perception check now.
Yay.
Stevie, you got an 11. So, and then FaZe and Stevie, you just roll normally. You don't get disadvantage, but you don't get advantage.
One of
Gotcha.
those was a natural one. Thank you for
Oh,
that
hey.
advantage.
Oh, that was a
That's-
4.
That is a 19.
Wow.
I think Sparks
'cause
just
I'm
needs
tall.
glasses.
I'm a little taller than the rest of them. I have more purview.
That is a 19 as well.
Wow.
I got a 2. I got a 12,
Okay.
sorry. 12.
Okay. So, Scrap and Orla, I think you two are leading the sort of charge a little bit. And you both realize in the same instant, you're about to walk into a spider web. Like a full, spider out, spanning tree to tree in front of you. So you know that definitely somewhere close, there's some spiders about. And you know that on Neverland, the spiders are kind of big. They're like size of dog kind of spiders.
Great.
Oh, jeez.
Everyone,
Yes?
just remember, they're afraid of fire. But then again, we are in a densely packed dry forest. I'm going back on that point. Just keep an eye out. And
Don't worry. I know fire.
Oh no. Scraps just
I
gonna
don't think Orla has
pull out
seen
his
a
swords.
spider.
They're not good. Too many legs. You don't like
No, I
legs?
don't like
They've 8 of them.
Octopus. Octopi?
Oh,
Octopussy?
have you ever seen a
Sorry.
coconut crab?
Yes!
That but landed with
Yeah.
fur and so many eyes.
Do they have
There's
claws?
like a million eyes.
No, they have pincers.
Oh, that sounds increasingly worse.
That
Yes.
sounds really scary.
They're
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah.
They're also awesome.
Oh, okay.
You're sending me mixed signals here. Are they cool or are they terrifying? I don't know which one they are.
Cool and terrifying. They're like dragons.
Okay, I got it now.
So as you're talking, chatting, arguing, perhaps, what are you going to do? Are you going to go around the web? Are you going to try and just walk through the web?
Nobody touch the web. It will alert them. I will start going around the web. Just kind of with my sword out, like Peter in Catching Fire, and just kind of, I'm whacking at it. I like that was my point of reference. Not just like any other movie set in a jungle.
You know, acclaimed children's book, Catching Fire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you do a sleight of hand to try and be extra sure not to, like, nick any part of the web?
8 plus 5, so it's a 13.
Okay. You do pretty well. You sort of shimmy around. It's like a little bit, yeah, you shimmy. You come across one section that, like, it's almost it's almost like the heist sort of thing of, like, there's lasers. And you're sort of ducking just enough around the webs and sort of leading the others through them. I'm gonna roll something real quick. Okay, no, it was
Uh-oh.
real bad.
Okay.
So something attempts to sneak up on you guys. But pretty close by, you see that there's like a just absolutely rotund, round spider. Very fuzzy. And it looked like it was trying to, like, come in from the side, and then it spotted that you spotted it, and is now, like, do you want to do anything?
I point my sword at it and just go like, just make yourself look really big. And then he just starts yelling spider at it over and over again like you do with a bear.
Roll intimidation.
Oh, of course.
If other people do it too, you can have advantage.
Does anyone
Yeah, Sparkle's on
else
her
do
tiptoes, and she's got her sword out like this, and her
Luckily,
wings out.
charisma is my highest stat.
I rolled in that 20 for intimidation.
I rolled an
Oh
8
my
minus
God.
1 for a 7.
Wow. So yeah, you've got like this sweaty, just absolutely terrified teenager, obviously like more scared of the spider than the spider is of it. But then Orla, you are like,
I'm doing some mermaid like yodel or something. Like it sounds different on above the water. It's like
it's like
crazy
the
sounding.
like orca whale bellow.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
And
Yeah.
it's just so loud, and the spider like crawls away. I'm gonna, yeah, actually I think with the nat 20, then that's going to scare away a lot of the spiders in the vicinity. Okay, then the spiders are all gone. Do you guys want to move past this area right away, or do you want to investigate it a little more, see if you can find anything? I don't know. I'm just offering
That
things.
was a close one.
There's plot.
Luckily,
There's
I
plot
scared them
anywhere
off.
I choose it to be.
I'm gonna look around to see if there's any more spiders.
Excellent.
Swords
Do an
out.
investigation check.
Of course. Yes, intelligence, another highlight for me. A natural 1, -1 for
Wow. You
big
just
ol'
like turn
goose
around,
egg,
step
gang.
straight into you step straight into the web you you worked so hard to avoid in the first place. So yeah, you're just spitting out the web and like getting it off of you now.
Let me burn it off of you. Let me burn it off of you. It won't hurt at all.
Wait, no!
Just hold still. Hold still.
Stay calm! Stay calm! Stay calm! I'm just gonna, just move way too much that I get myself way too caught in it. I'm playing really intense combat music right now. That needs to go away. Mystic Forest.
This is intense.
This is intense. I'm so afraid. And then I'm just... Okay. No to the fire. I am very much flammable. Could someone just grab this sword and cut me out? And just kind of holds out his sword to the children.
I have my own sword, and I'm just gonna go forward and try to cut him out.
You wanna do
Definitely
sleight of-
swinging.
Yeah.
Sleight of
Do you want to roll to hit or do sleight of hand?
I'll do sleight of hand, because
Okay.
yeah. Oh, that's a natural 1.
Oh my god.
I think
Please?
that's a hit.
And that's how
Oh.
I became Captain Hook II.
Swinging it with abandon, just like
This
you're fine, you're fine, you're fine.
I'm fine! I've been hit!
You're fine.
I've been hit!
Please don't roll high for this. Come on. That's 5 points of damage. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Oh, I can't.
Stop resisting. We're
Do
trying
I
to
at
help.
least get out of the spider web? Or
Yeah,
not?
you get out of the binding. And now you have like a scar just like right here on your arm. So now the brain does go, well, I'll have a cool scar. Okay. That'll be cool.
Hold
Okay.
on, real quick. Hold on, real quick. Okay, that looks really bad.
It's fine.
Here. I mean, it's not your best work. I've seen you do better.
That's not
Okay,
even
that's fair.
dramatic blood. It's in the arm. Like, it bleeds as much as it's supposed to. It's not like a head wound. No, this is bad.
It's okay. Can I
This is the only shot I have.
Can I just? He'll take a leaf nearby. It's like, can I put this on here?
Can I deduce if he's about to like rub poison ivy on me
Do-
or something?
Would you like to do a
He's rubbing
nature
some
check?
dirt.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead, do a nature check, Maddie.
of course. I'm very good at this.
Yeah.
So 17 minus 1 for 16.
This is like straight up good for you. Asking me what plant? I don't know, but it's good. Maybe it's aloe. It's like gonna help. Definitely gonna help with 90% of you covered in sunburns, because
Absolutely.
that feels
This
real.
boy is from England. No.
Boy from England.
Okay, does it look poisonous?
I know it's not poisonous. Trust me. I've been through these woods before, once or twice. It's fine. I'm gonna put that on there, and as I do, I'll cast Cure Wounds.
You can count to 2. That's great.
We've been working on 2. 3 is next.
It was 2 then 1, right?
And no, other way. It's 1 then 2.
Oh. Okay. And then
Don't
slept
worry.
right on there.
Oh,
You get
oh,
12 points of healing from that.
yay.
You're super healthy.
Goodness. Okay.
Oh, some of my sunburn goes away. Oh,
Wow.
I've never had this much mobility in years.
It's truly just once you
scurvy
actually
goes away.
channel belief in Neverland, shit happens. If you believe you're not sunburned enough, you won't be. That works for me in real life.
Was that the leaf? Do you have more of those? Can I?
Uh,
Whoa!
You know, we can't. It's one of those that we have to use it sparingly because you just can't heal all. I mean, you can heal all willy-nilly, but it gets tiring.
So the leaves are like a non-renewable source. Understood. I respect your desires for conservation. It's really
Sure.
admirable.
Exactly what you just said.
I like your funny words, man.
That's
And then
magic.
if we go when we start going again, I'll slow down and then say to Spark, I have no idea what leaf I got, but I'm glad that it worked.
You know what? I may have messed up this situation too, so it might kind of be on both of us. But thank you for saving the day.
It's okay. We're balanced. Balanced. That's what it's
Balance.
about. Balance.
Did anyone roll good perception?
Spark can't see shit, so I've just
Yeah.
accepted that.
Spark is one of those kids who is meant to have glasses.
I need glasses.
You're seeing triple and you don't know because you've only ever had these eyes.
It's why I can't figure out that it's not a dragon that we have with us. She just cannot see.
That's so good.
You saw the leaves on the back and were like, I'm pretty sure the back, it's growing in. It
Yeah,
is
they're
growing.
getting there.
She's just super long-sighted where she's like, walks up.
This is just what everybody sees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone sees blurry up close.
And far away.
I did actually know a kid in school who had been seeing triple like his whole life and didn't know it. Crazy.
I have friends who grew up thinking just everyone couldn't see.
Fair enough. I grew up
Good God.
for like 22 years, didn't know I was autistic. Happens to
And
the
that's
best of
the
us.
same thing. So
Excellent. As you're going along, would anyone like to roll nature, arcana, survival, perception, investigation?
none of those
I- any
intelligence
of those.
ones. I think I'll
I'll
go
do
for
it.
survival. I had good luck with that last time. That's cocked.
Interesting. Out of the cock.
A 9.
Oh no.
Ah,
Dirty 20 for
Sorry.
investigation.
I'll try investigation. Why not?
If you guys need
I'll
me
try-
to hide in a
I'll-
bush, I've got you.
Do perception
Nothing
again,
else.
actually. We'll
Yeah.
see if I can see this time. It's 10. She squints.
okay.
It's still 7.
13.
Okay. 13, 10, dirty 20, 9.
9?
Okay. 9. So first, Scrap, you see something kind of blurry on a tree that doesn't quite match the other thing. It's close to one of the bottom branches. You find like something blurry, something that doesn't like stand out, like it stands out amongst all the flora and fauna. Like there's flowers and stuff, but this doesn't look quite right, so you point it out first.
That's...
And that point.
Is
yeah.
that a...
Wait, did I say
monster?
Scrap? I meant Spark.
Never
Spark sees that
mind.
because of the blurriness. Sorry.
We did fail in making our names too similar.
It's fine. It's children's names. They all sound alike. It's fine.
So yes, Spark sees that.
Can you repeat it one more time? Sorry. I missed
Yes.
it.
So you see like very blurry on one of the like lower branches on a tree, you see something blurry and long and blue. And it looks so out of place that, like, that's not, like, a flower. That looks weird.
I see something. It is very long. It is blue and kind of fuzzy around the edges. So I don't. It's like right over there. I'm just gonna point
Pointing
at
out to
it
the
as
others. The
best
others,
as I can.
Are the spiders
others who-
mutating?
you, like, look over, and now that it's been, like, pointed out to you, it's almost a little bit, like, out of the sunlight, but a part of it was, like, shining a little bit from a corner of the sun that poked through the branches. It's part of a ribbon. It's a ribbon that's been torn. It's, like, light blue, looks almost like satiny. Oh, there's a fruit fly.
wasp?
Sorry.
Oh.
No, thank God.
Thank God. They wouldn't be
There's-
that calm.
no, wasp. Now I just got hyper vigilant, but no, I also have fruit flies in here. I'm blessed with many insects in my little environment.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm winter. I just came into spring from winter, so there's spiders everywhere.
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh, there's a bunch of, like, really fast,
Australians.
kind of big spiders in my area. They keep on fucking coming out. I
There's
hate
one
it.
living in the rear vision mirror, one of the side mirrors of my car. Occasionally, he just comes and crawls across my windshield. I haven't gotten him yet. He's too quick, but I'll just, like, slam on the wipers, and he disappears again. I go, ah, foiled once more.
Now you suddenly understand Captain Hook a little more. This fucking spider. Anyway, it's a little ribbon.
That is a fey trap. We need to. We need to. That's a trap.
Tinkerbell, who has been very quiet, flares red when you're like, "That's a fey trap," and she, like, and then is, like, suddenly, like, remembers herself for a second and turns, like, indigo and kind of sinks a little bit with worry, and then she goes back into orange and kind of fearful, and then goes back into anger, and is just, like, in a wash of emotions for a second of, like, this ribbon.
Scraplaw, who grew up with, like, intensely Irish parents who, like, were super superstitious. That's why he's so anxious all the time. He just thinks he was
Well,
kidnapped
hey, they
by
were
the
kind
fae.
of right. A fae took you away.
They did.
I mean, they were right to be a little superstitious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we're already here. Is anyone good at climbing trees? I had a test run earlier, it didn't go well.
Not a bit.
Um,
Never climbed one before.
That's fair enough, you know?
I'm pretty athletic, just in general.
It is on, like, like, it's near the ground is where this branch is.
Oh, actually, as we come closer and perspective is clear, I'll just get on my tippy toes and grab it.
Oh, problem solved.
And Orla, with that dirty 20, something you do see a little bit higher on the tree is, like, the corner of some sort of piece of paper or something. There's definitely there's something just tilting on the branch above the ribbon.
Ooh. And she's gonna snatch it.
You reach up, snatch it. It seems to be, like, a few pages of something that, like, used to be a book, maybe? It's a few pages of, like, some sort of storybook, and on the first page, it says Wendy, Moira, Angela, Darling.
Question, can Spark read?
That's up to you, dog.
Yes.
Oh, because she has her
Spark
book!
She can read.
Yeah. Oh, she's farsighted? Is that, like, she can read up close, but far
Nearsighted.
Yeah,
things
so she's
are fuzzy.
nearsighted. She can read and she can
Mm.
write.
Yeah.
Orla's gonna, like, take the piece of paper, because I don't think mermaids can read. They like listening to stories, but she's never read anything. She's like, this has those funny scribbles on it. Can someone decipher this?
Read? I can. You have. Do you? I have the ribbon. Is it?
Can mermaids not read?
I think
I could
mermaids
if
are
I
very
want
good. They're very good with numbers, but they can't outright read word. Because, like, how would that work underwater? Like, you can have an abacus underwater, but writing down the numbers themselves and, like, writing down the words.
I think Spark pulls out her journal and just writes a note. Mermaids cannot read. Dragons? Question mark? And then puts it back in.
Maybe they use, like, you know, more of the spoken word through teaching through story. Generational.
There's a lot of singing in our, day to day. We like singing
like
stories.
I've heard about that.
I just reading. I've never seen the use of it. And then she's just gonna hand it over to Spark. But
What-
here you go.
What does it say?
So at
Wendy,
the top, yes.
Oh, so it just says Wendy, Moira, Angela, Darling.
Yes.
Wendy bird. Oh, it's a pet? Though if it has a pet?
Pet?
You look at some of the other pages that seem to be, like, torn out from this storybook. It seems like there might have been, like, some little annotations along some of the pages. These seem to be some of the favorites. Like, there's some about, like, fairy tales of, like, Rapunzel. There's some that are, like, of, like, the Knights of Arthur sort of thing. Like, they're very different, but, like, along the same lines of, like, adventure. And along sort of these little annotations, there are little notes of, like, Michael's favorite part, Peter's favorite part. A lot of things are highlighted of like, Peter likes this part, Peter likes this part, Peter likes it when there's more blood in this part. Like, all these little things. And it seems like there's a few little notes of, like, reminders for herself. Of, like, don't forget to tell Michael to brush his teeth. Don't forget to, like, all these things. And there's, like, they're, like, very cluttered pages. And on the last page, there's a little note at the bottom that says, don't forget to ask Tink. And it doesn't finish whatever that was.
So, Wendy isn't a bird, but a person that can fly? I mean, you have wings. Maybe she has wings. Scrap has determined that Wendy is probably an Aarakocra.
Would be a dragon.
So we're finding
Cannot
a person.
cross out any personality, any possibilities.
I'm sold on dragon. That's what I'm at. Dragon.
And
They're a dragon.
we at least know that perhaps wears a ribbon?
There's nothing that says dragons can't wear ribbons. That is a big rule in my book.
Well,
Dragons can wear whatever they want.
this is likely a clue in that this dragon person, Wendy Bird, was perhaps here recently. Are there any footprints around or blood trails? You know, I'm just.
Do an investigation
What
check, dog.
Hey, listen, he's been on a pirate ship for a few years. Natural 20.
Certainly. Whoa! Okay, so it's, you know what? It's not quite crazy that you do once you start looking for them, like around this tree, you do see that there are some small footprints leading further down the path that you guys are already kind of going towards. And Tink sort of looks and like meets your eyes as you find the footprints too, and she just kind of turns full indigo of like worry, and turns a little bit blue too with sadness of like she looks very ashamed, and she's so worried about what's happened.
Just kind of breaking eye contact with Tink, I'm gonna follow the footprints silently.
Tink kind of sits on your shoulder a little bit, not really looking to fly anymore.
I open up I'm wearing like a shirt, and the little pocket, I open it for her.
She slips in. She suddenly looks to her left and sees the snow in the hoodie next to her in like Winter's hoodie, and is like, and then goes back onto the shoulder.
Yeah, like I'm not like the same.
I'm not like that.
And yeah, I'll follow the footprints, just kind of I think looking back to the others and kind of like holding up a hand to like maybe wait a second, and that he'll try and silently do some recon.
Do some Arcana or Insight. Or Nature. Yeah, I'll be generous.
Oh, you gave me 2 intelligence options and I'm not going with any of them.
I'm giving it... Okay.
Okay, for Insight, that's a 10.
Okay. You get the sense that this is maybe not one of the more, like... Oh, what's the word? Maybe one of the more visited areas of the island. Like, there's the beaches, there's the great trees to climb, there's the mountains, there's the wading pools, there's all these different places. You get the sense that this is probably a dip in the path that not a lot of people go towards or are like drawn to. It maybe there just isn't that much fun stuff down here, or anyone who has been like, well, kind of boring, whatever. But you also get the sense that like this sort of area isn't like filled with spiders or something. It's just kind of whatever. It's a little bit bland.
I think I'll kind of gesture to the others to like maybe follow, but with a berth. And I'm gonna follow the footprints, but I'm trying to be as quiet as possible, that if I'm sneaking up on anything, I can see them before they see me.
Yes. As you're walking down this path, it like slopes down more, and there's like good-sized rocks that are like big enough that like going down a slope isn't too hard. It's not difficult or anything. And as you go down more and more, you see patches of moss covering the floor more. There's less like trees necessarily. And as you go and get past one of the bigger trees, you see that there's this area that just goes into like almost a deep bowl. Almost like a crater, but it's like smooth. It's like there's a dip, there's like the bowl, and then there's like a bump inside the bowl of like a little island type deal. But there's not like a lot of water around it. There's just all this bright green moss. And there's like a table that's like kind of like the best thing you can call of like a table of like when you're a kid and you're like, this is a flat rock. Dog, this is the best table I've ever seen. This is a table. And there's like some good-sized rock chairs around there. Dude, this is great. Why aren't people down here more? And there's like a bigger mound, like moss-covered stone, like to one side of the little table. But Yeah, there doesn't seem to be much else. There looks to be like maybe a few little mushrooms growing around. But other than that, there's like a lot of the sunlight kind of reaches this place, and it's very beautiful and serene.
Just before the others catch up, are there any signs of like movement or life?
Do a perception check.
Don't worry about it. It's a natural one.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Mm.
Dog, nothing's been here for ages.
Alright. I look back at the others and I go like, there's a table and some rocks here, but I don't think anything's around. Maybe these footprints are older.
Snow kind of scrambles a little bit in like your hoodie of like, I want to walk. Like I've been carried around for a while. Starts like wiggling, kind of like a angry child.
Yeah.
Michael! Set on the ground, starts just like wandering around this little like moss-covered bowl area. It's like again, it's not hard to like get down there or anything. It's very beautiful, very serene, inviting even. Pink kind of looks around.
Did you know this was here? Or no? Okay.
What's that?
Did you know this was here?
Nope. Never been here before in my life.
Place looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
There's a whole table. We've never had a table.
We do now.
Oh.
Hey! Oh!
Oh.
You guys kind of scramble down a bit. I think Snow, after you like maybe get ahead of Snow a little bit, Snow moves even a little bit quicker. Oh, moving. Almost chasing you. And Tink kind of slowly like flies off your shoulder and slowly starts going towards the middle, towards the table as well. Oop.
It's alright. I'm dumb. I fixed it. I pressed a button.
It's okay.
Well,
Does anybody want to poke around or anything?
there's nothing around as I have checked. So, I'm just gonna go check out the table and chairs and just kind of look around and maybe sit in one of them.
Yeah, you sit. Which one do you sit in?
The one closest to me.
Okay. Yeah, you sit in one closest to you.
Yeah, I do.
There's like one that separates you from like the weird like moss mound thing at the one side of the table. And it slowly moves and lifts up apparently its head to look at you.
I
And you see
scramble off with
Okay,
a
dexterity
dignified
saving throw.
scream.
Yes. Dexterity saving throw to see if you are okay. You're gonna be the most injured kid on this.
Oh my
God.
God. We haven't
Such a
even
bad-
fought anybody.
Yeah, 17?
Okay, you like just accidentally do a full back roll and like land on your feet, like accidentally. And she turns to you and goes, "Are you okay?" So, are you okay?
Are you Wendy?
I say I was not expecting guests, but it shall have to do. And she starts pulling stuff. She stands up and, like, she's very like bent over. She's got just fully wrinkled face, but she's got this sort of hooded, cloaked moss all along her, and there's like plants that have been like woven into like a cardigan. And she starts just pulling out a pouch and starts taking out like little scones and setting them on the table, being like, "It's been ages I have been preparing though. Oh, lovely time. Lovely. I haven't made any tea. I'm so sorry." Starts like taking out like a little like stone teapot. It's like, "Can anyone start a fire?"
Yes, I can.
Ah,
Um,
ingenuity.
I am just gonna grab a bunch of sticks, I guess, around, and then I'm gonna go up to put them in a pile, and then with uh with the ancestral dragon, I can unarmed strike and choose the damage into a different type of damage. So I'm just gonna like karate chop the sticks and then do fire damage so they light on fire.
Oh my
It's like you struck a match, but like there's no fucking match, there's no fucking nothing. Um,
Hell yeah.
you set fire to
Yeah.
this little pile of sticks, and she sets up like a little like iron thing to like lift it over the flames to start brewing this little tea. And she goes, "I say, when Tinkerbell said that we were going to have a tea party, I did not think it would take so long."
I
Oh,
look at Tinkerbell.
this Tinkerbell looks absolutely indigo of worry and blue with sadness
I
like,
lean in and whisper into her ear once again, remembering the words of my superstitious parents. I'm like, is this one of those situations where we eat the food and we can never leave? Do we need to run? Danger? Why do you look so afraid?
"You want to roll insight?"
Yeah.
It's hard doing charades.
8.
8? You
Yeah.
get the sense that she did something
Yeah.
wrong here. You can't quite understand what. That she's worried that she did something wrong here. Anyone else can also roll insight.
Don't worry, I'm not a narc.
yes.
I
Roll
tuck her.
insight.
I
Come on, baby.
I gently coax her into my pocket and go, then they won't see you.
16.
What was that?
16.
16? You have gotten in trouble enough times in your life that when you make a mistake and then you try and cover up the mistake and then you think you got away with it and then someone tries to look for that specific thing that you tried to hide that you made a mistake, suddenly the fear of God is in your soul. And it's very frightening. So you think you kind of get it in that way of like, oh, Tank got jealous. Tank told Wendy to go to this side of the island. She didn't really leave and she was getting very forgetful. So she just stayed there and she kept aging. So she's been there for who knows how long. And now she's old. And that wouldn't be so much of a problem if Peter hadn't suddenly seen something that reminded him of a Wendy bird. And is now trying to remember, what's a Wendy bird? Why did I care?
Ooh.
I'm gonna lean over to Scrap and I'm just gonna say, I think Tinkerbell messed up.
Yeah, I got that. I'm trying to figure out if she needs help hiding a body or...
Oh!
Why? Do you know what she did? I'm still trying to coax
I
her into my pocket because I don't want her to. I try not to be a narc.
um I think this is the Wendy bird. Is that kind of what weird?
She hears her name, and Wendy Angela Moira Angela Darling turns, full wrinkles in the sun, and lifts back the hood a little bit, and you see this little curly gray white hair. And she goes, "Yes, of course."
You are a Wendy bird.
Oh, that tickles my memory a bit. That's what they called me when I first landed on the island with my brothers.
How many of the seats are there?
There are like 6 or 7 seats.
Glancing at each of them, do they look like they're also a person?
No, all the rest of these are all stones. All actual just stones. They look like they were probably rolled over here. And it's just been such a while that this is just kind of turned mossy, turned into an area, and like time has been so confusing and just like lackadaisical, for lack of a better word, on Neverland, that like she didn't notice the time passing.
Did a similar thing happen to me?
It's possible. She sort of looks at you a little bit. Do you miss your mom right now?
She says that to me?
No, I'm saying that to you about your character. Does Scrap miss their mom right now?
I think it depends how much of their memory that they have, but I think a deep part of them misses their parents a lot.
I think Wendy, even though she is so old, she still has that ounce of childness in her that never quite flew away from Neverland. That she like looks into your eyes and sort of sees that of like missing. And she starts to like look around to each of you of like trying to find those threads, kind of like connecting herself back. So like I'll ask this for a little bit of flavor. What specific thing is Scrap missing about one or both of their parents right now that's reminded through Wendy?
I think it is definitely seeing like an older female figure is triggering that memory. But I think it's the reassurance and the safety that came with it that he hasn't had in a long time, of someone telling him that it's going to be okay when he gets scared, or putting things into perspective where he's had to now do it himself.
Is there something similar for Winter as well? Is there something about Wendy that like reminds Winter of their parents?
I think there is that a little bit of that whole maternal figure that's not really prevalent here, and it's just like that very faint memory of his parents.
Like she hands you like a scone, and it's like, oh, I remember someone giving me just like sneaking me something a little bit before dinner. That like.
Yeah.
And Spark, is there something for Spark as well?
Does anything spark a memory?
I think spark my memory. Probably just, being asked to do something as simple as like, can you make a fire for me so I can make us dinner, or anything that's just reminded her of like, oh yeah, like this is how we used to do things. Like everybody would help out, make dinner, and like getting told like good job and stuff afterwards and everything. And I guess kind of just that.
Yeah. Like And then, Orla, is there anything also in Wendy that, like, did you maybe know Wendy before?
I think so. I think Orla was kind of off put by like the crater itself and was like, this should be a pool of water. And I think she sees like Wendy in the middle of it, and it almost like transforms into the memory of like Wendy sitting on a rock in the middle of a pool, and Orla like swimming up to her and like trying to trade little trinkets. So I think like Orla was staring this whole time and was like, why is this so familiar?
And you
And
remember one of the, like, she, without hesitation, gave you one of the buttons off her cardigan.
she still has
As
it in her
not
bag.
even as like a trade, just like, of course I'll give this to you. And you look on the cardigan now, that button's still missing.
Yeah.
And she sort of looks around and has this moment of grounding herself again and sort of processing, like, time passed? How much time? And she looks over to Tinkerbell in the pocket, and Tinkerbell slowly flies out a little bit, and with full head hanging low, lands into just the palm of Wendy's hand. And she like lifts up Wendy's thumb so that she can hug it. And she's just like hugging the thumb as hard as she can, since she can't really hug anything else like to full effect. And Wendy just looks very sadly at her hand, at Tinkerbell looking very ashamed. And after a second, Tink looks up and then looks at you guys and turns yellow for a flash. She turns happy for a second. And then she tries to frantically try and explain something very quickly to probably Scrap, since you've been she's been in your pocket the most. And she tries to explain something to you, and then sort of flutters over to Spark, tries to explain, goes down to Snow on the ground, trying to talk to this lizard, like trying to like explain to you a plan she suddenly had. So, could everybody probably roll insight?
I think even though he doesn't have it, Scruff's just like frantically looking for a pen and paper and comes up with nothing.
18.
6.
Excellent.
I'm looking too hard.
Ayo. Hey.
I got a 15.
Hey.
What skill was it again?
Insight.
15.
Excellent. Okay. So, Scrap, I think you got the lowest. Yes. Okay. You are so frantic in trying to find a piece of paper and a pen or like a pencil or anything that you've even just forgotten in this moment. You can't even read and write. Like, that's not even a thing to question. But everyone else, you kind of gather this sort of plan that Tinkerbell is trying to put together here of like, this might work. You get the understanding that there are things that are magic on the island. The island itself is basically magic. And through the power of belief, things can happen. So, if you were to find certain things that connected you enough to like a period of your life or a memory, that maybe that might change something in you, truly. So she's trying to figure out a plan to trigger this memory in Wendy to maybe reverse some of this. I'm gonna yes?
kind of paw at Spark for a second and grab the paper and the ribbon and hand it to Wendy.
Wendy looks at it, and Tink flies up to the hand and goes like,
Wait, what did I do?
and
he wasn't
like-
thinking about Tink, he was thinking of, we need to return her belongings.
yeah. Wendy starts looking through it and is like, oh, like excited to see this book again, and is like pawing through it. Looks at the ribbon and is like, oh my goodness, and is like working to like put it in her hair and like ties it into like a small bow, which is just in such large contrast to everything that has been so worn on her person. And as you're looking at this, Tink is like trying to mime that there's like one more thing. I think with one more thing that this could probably get fixed. And with that, we'll go on break. Anticipation.
Yeah.
Hee.
I'll get our mommy.
See you later. In 10 minutes. Hi, welcome back. I'm gonna try my hardest to make you guys cry this time if I didn't get you last time. Welcome back. So, you guys were just getting the plan from Tinkerbell, explaining that there was one more thing that you would probably need to get her back to maybe I hate to say girl form, but to like her younger form from back before she was basically forgotten in this grove. And she explains that it's some sort of sewing thing, of like a thimble, a sewing thimble that you put on your finger. And that seems like a very hard thing to find on this island.
Thimble in a haystack.
Yes, a thimble in a haystack, yes. And you do see that there's like a little tomato sewing cushion like on the wrist of Wendy. There's like little needles stuck in there and like little things that have been like fixed and patched on like her clothing and such, that like she's like, oh, I did lose that. When did I lose that? And she's like sort of lost in thought a second. She can't seem to remember. But I open this up to the group. How would y'all like to try and find this thimble in a haystack?
I look to Tink. General direction?
And she makes herself look like Peter and like does the pose of like when he crows.
Peter has it?
Or at least he might know where it is. Dead on there.
Spark is just winning the game.
And there seems to be part of the plan that she tries to explain is that you might have to try and catch Peter. So how do you think about capturing the pan?
I think Orla would suggest that she would start just like singing a song about him and see if that attracts him closer. Because he always likes when, she sings a little song about him. So she'll suggest that and maybe try that out.
Well, if you do that, what I could do is then, and you're gonna see as like I'll grab a couple vines and be like, I'll use a couple of things to be able to keep him down.
Okay.
I'm an excellent weaver. And she starts just weaving she starts knitting the vines together.
Scrap just mutters to himself, we have become the Fae Trap. We have a Fae Trap.
I have painter's supplies. I can paint a picture on the ground.
All right.
We could light a smoky fire. Like a flare?
Could
But
do that.
Would that attract him, though?
It would definitely look interesting, and that is something that can attract Peter. My one last question is, where are you planning to do this, then? What spot or area?
I think it seems like Peter sort of avoids this place. Maybe we should find a clearing or something.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
That's good. He's overreacting way too much to this small amount of praise and just immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's fine. Cool. Anyways.
Well, okay.
Yes.
So,
do you two know a clearing anywhere nearby? And she looks at the Lost Boys.
I do know of these like really big scary caves where on once or twice occasion the pirates, not other pirates, I'm not a pirate, have attempted to trap him at least 3 dozen times. But it has walls. Could provide us a little bit more coverage?
I thought you said wolves. Like
Oh.
wolves. I was like,
And-
I mean, does he not like wolves, or does he really like wolves?
And there's only one entrance. Only downside? Massive crocodile. But I think considering we aren't going with Hook, maybe probably fine.
You know, you've said other pirates, and then you've corrected yourself. Is that a Flablubblian slip?
Flabupian
I
slip.
have
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
left. I'm not a pirate. No. And I never was, because I never chose it. It was forced upon me, and I have left. I'm still figuring it out. But I know
Okay.
what
It's
I'm
okay. That's all right.
not.
That's all right. Yeah. She's like Wendy's
Orla
sitting
just
there,
has
just knitting the vines together. Has like a almost queen-sized thing already. Just
Oh my god! Okay.
they're thick vines, yes. I say.
Yeah.
All right, to the caves. Starts hobbling off, I suppose.
Yeah, it's
Unless someone catches Grandma, she's going.
I'm
Nurse!
following Grandma. I'm obsessed with Grandma.
Is she going in the right
As soon as
direction?
Spark goes, I go.
Darling, your dragon drawings are incredible. Oh
Thank
my
you,
god,
that's-
look at the color.
Yo.
Oh,
Yeah, that's one. That one I made orange because I thought an orange dragon. I haven't seen a lot of orange dragons. I haven't also seen any dragons, but orange dragons I feel like are good idea.
oh yes. Oh yes.
Thank you.
And that lizard is so well behaved. I can't believe it. He seems to be passed out in your hoodie for hours at the time.
Dragons gotta get a lot of sleep.
That's
Yeah,
true. That's
he's a
true of
dragon.
everyone. Yes. Oh, I need more scones. And she's just eating scones. Okay. So you're heading towards the beach and the outcropping. I'd like perhaps a group stealth check to if everybody does really good, then you avoid the crocodile and the pirates and possibly the Lost Boys. If everybody does
Lock in.
okay, then like the crocodile's gonna notice you. The pirates might notice you. If everybody does real bad, everybody's gonna see everything.
19.
Ayo.
16.
Okay.
25. It's the one
What?
thing. It's the one thing he's good
Oh.
at is being invisible.
Excellent. Excellent.
12.
Okay, 12. Did everybody get over 10? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think over half of you got over 15 as well. And then you got over 20. Excellent. So you go near completely undetected as you go about setting this up. After it like goes off, that'll be like there'll still be time before everyone converges on the spot. Probably not the crocodile. Crocodile's gonna notice pretty quickly when there's a fire set off. But as you're like setting it up, the crocodile far, far back, wherever in this cave, is asleep for the time being. And as you're setting this up, so I'd like your guys' input on what this looks like, how it's set up. Give me the
I
details.
have not seen either movie in a long time, and I thought about rewatching it, but then I fell asleep. So this
Fair.
cave scene is from the depths of my childhood imagination. But I remember there was a time where the children were to be like sacrificed to the crocodile.
Yes.
Yeah, this comes to mind. So it's just a big old cavern with like one real entrance, and maybe we locate like a part where there's like an opening towards a skylight, and begin building the fire around there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Where are you hiding the net? And who's like holding the nets so to like control when it falls, or like whatever mechanism it is holding it?
Maybe like over the top of the entrance, we could drop it.
I'm about to say, if there's any trees or whatnot,
There aren't any trees in here. There's probably like maybe some stones or like taller rocks.
I could probably hide behind one of the taller rocks and just kind of like wait with it.
I do have like 100 feet of rope. It's one thing about pirates, they got a lot of rope. Maybe we could get a bit of a pulley system going?
When they tied me up, I just kind of unwound it and kept it. Figured it was my rope now.
Yeah. I got 50 feet of hemp and 50 feet of silk for some reason. We have options.
Don't worry, I have this covered. I got
Okay.
Snow is also like perching, like coming around your shoulder a little bit, and is also lying in wait. Like very clearly, lizard waiting.
Can we
And
hear
I
the
think
tick-tock?
Tinkerbell is on the other shoulder. What?
Can we hear the tick-tock?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm keeping an ear out.
You don't hear the tick-tock. You hear like the faint, like you see like the measured movements of the water, which you take to mean that it's probably like, it's fairly measured, but like it's not the T-Rex moving the water in Jurassic Park. It's like the T-Rex is sleeping in the water. This is just the water at the good measurement. I don't know if I'm explaining this well.
No,
You're doing great.
Okay, great.
Orla is probably turned back into a mermaid at this point, and would find somewhere to perch, like on a rock, so she could be like the lure or the bait for Peter, along with the smoke.
Nice. And are you still singing like the song or something?
Yeah, I think she's probably singing some like adventurous, like thrilling tale that would excite Peter and bring him in.
And it's
I think
cave.
Wendy.
The acoustics.
Truly.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy is also like huddling behind one of the bigger pieces of rock, and also like you can hear her start to like harmonize a little bit with you as she's like getting a hold of the lyrics. And then Spark is probably wherever this fire is getting started.
I'm where the fire is.
Okay.
I'm warming
I think
up
it's
my hands.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more towards like the center back of the cave. Like the cave goes deeper far back, but the main like antechamber where this is all happening, that's where it's going off. Okay.
I think Winter and I will be on the net pulley system. I looking out for the crocodile, and I look to you and I say, and you look out for Peter. Yeah? Let go when you see him. Yeah? Okay. Plan activated. Go team.
Blood!
And I just,
The blood god!
Yeah, just keep adding like dry grasses to it. We'll make it real smoky. Don't breathe it in, please.
Ooh, mint!
Are we ready for me to karate chop the fire?
Yes. You karate chop the fire.
I grabbed the on the way. I grabbed the Neverland equivalent of eucalyptus leaves, which smoke like a mother fluffer. And, yeah.
Hey, you have fucks outside of character unlimited.
Yeah.
This is a PG-13 game. In character, y'all are only allowed one fuck. I didn't explain that to the audience top of the game. Everybody knew that. And nobody's used it yet as far as I can remember.
Scraps
It'll be
heard it
It'll
before.
be a dramatic moment.
All of
Very
us say it at the same time.
Speaking of dramatic moments, of the groups that I was rolling for, 2 of them rolled nat 20s on perception.
Good.
So
I hope one of them is
So-
Peter.
you
I will
hear
say-
a crow. Yes.
I was gonna say, so one of the things that that you will see is that Winter isn't actually holding the rope. He's there, ready to go, and he does have like a little vine, just like ready.
Excellent.
I grab both sides of the rope and think, I guess I'm doing it all.
You hear a crow, the crowing of Peter, his call, as you can hear it get closer and closer. He was one of the nat 20s. The other
Yay.
20, you hear a ticking grow closer and closer as the water ripples underneath you.
Oh, that's not good for me.
What would you like? You have 1 round before we roll initiative. What would you like to do to maybe try and stop this crocodile from coming out?
Flip it onto its back.
Hold on. I forgot about all of my spells and things. Should I try and scare it away? I think Orla seems to be good at doing that.
Hey!
I also can smite this crocodile. That might make it angry. I think she'll try and scare it away. I feel like she's had run-ins with the crocodile before. She's tried to take its eggs probably because good trade. So yeah, she's gonna try and scare it away.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay, roll intimidation.
Just so you guys know, I'm playing some ticking noises. The audience can hear.
I figured someone said there was like actual ticking. I was like, oh hell yes.
That is a dirty 20 this time.
Okay. Okay, what do you do that intimidates the crocodile?
If I may spice things up, I could have my Fury of the Tides. And I think she sees the crocodile coming and she just like does what she did with the spiders and does that like whale orca bellowing and she like pushes the water forcefully away, like, you're in my singing cave, I'm busy right now, go away.
It's like the warning shot that like the mermaids give to the crocodile when there's like they're going to attack if they're getting in each other's spaces. So this kind of gives the message of like, there's a bunch of me here. I have a bunch of guys in the parking lot actually.
This building's surrounded.
Yeah.
Me and all my friends, we're coming for you.
The 50 plus, they're ready. Get ready.
So there's like that, and there's just this moment of like, you guys are in my house. I'm going back to bed. And you sort of see him like float backwards as he was like, you were in the water. You could see him, this like glint of his eyes as they were like slitted and emerging from the darkness. And now you see him just sort of like plateau and like go back to sleep as he moves back. And as that
very pleased.
oh yes. And over the bellowing noise, after that dissipates, again like echoing in this chamber, which definitely helped that intimidation as well, you hear that crowing of Peter again as he gets closer and closer, and he flies in through the top, crowing the loudest you've heard him. Oh, I thought you were like doing that at me.
Winter and Scrap are just like, are Just got this, we got this.
I'm gonna fight
Oh.
Peter.
Have we lost Faye? Faye!
Oh, hey, I'm
oh,
back. I can hear you.
yeah, we got
Oh,
you, we
you're
got you,
back.
we got you.
Yeah?
You froze
Yeah.
for just a
Like,
memento.
You never find out what happened. Just live with it.
No.
Bye.
He does sweeping circles around the cave. Who's going to try and time the timing to like try and capture him?
Which of us has higher wisdom? Wait, is this gonna be dex or wisdom vibes? Because I got really good dex.
I have good wisdom.
I'd
Dexter.
say I'm gonna go for wisdom for this.
You do it.
Okay.
Let's let the wisdom person do it.
What would you like me to roll, Miss DM?
Okay. I would like you to roll insight.
Could I give them the help action? By kind
Yes.
of also listening and like timing it together?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first one was a 14. The second was a 19.
Hell
The
yeah!
power of friendship.
With the
Yes.
with the 19, you sort of time it right. You get this feeling that if you hadn't let it go, then like Peter would have come in here, seen some people, seen no crocodile, and been like, "This looks kind of boring. There is a fire, but that kind of hurts my lungs." But like you drop the net actually like right in front of him, and it doesn't land on him. It lands right in front of him, and he's like, "Oh, we're playing a game."
At that point, I'm gonna toss the vine and cast Entangle. I'm gonna need Peter to do a DC 13 strength saving throw.
Fuck it.
Nice.
Let's go. My goodness. I am using a book. Can you tell?
No, not at all.
Excellent. I'm just studious.
She's
Whatever.
searching the
He
archive.
he lost. I don't think he has any high enough saving throw to recover from a 5. So he gets entangled and he's like, "Oh, you won." That was very
We
good.
win.
This is very fun. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. So is there any other parts of this game, or is this just we capture each other over and over? Oh, pirates. We're playing pirates. Okay.
Yep, and now we need to take you to our captain. Next part of the game. I look to the others like, play along.
Yes.
You lead Pan just around like this sort of curving stair up to this middle part where this fire had been going, and Wendy sort of steps out from behind one of the stones, and she looks very closely at Peter. And she looks a little bit confused and a little sad, and she looks at him and then looks down at her hands again and seems to get very embarrassed. And Peter looks at her and starts to look very confused. And there's a small tear that just comes down from his eyes. He's looking confused. And Wendy looks up and goes, "Oh, why are you crying?" And he goes, "I'm not crying." Goes, "What's your name?" And she goes, "Wendy, Angela, Moira, darling. What's your name?" "Peter Pan." "What's that?" And he looks at a little acorn on a chain around her neck. And she goes, "Oh, I think it's a thimble? I don't think that sounds right." And he looks down at one of his fingers that's clenched in a fist, and as he unravels it, there's a thimble on his finger. And he goes, I think it's a kiss." And she looks up and she starts to laugh. Just a full-bodied laugh, where she's almost curls in on herself for a second, and he starts following not too long after. And Tinkerbell whizzes up into the air, golden as the sun, so thrilled. And as the pixie dust starts to fall down on the group of everyone, the sparks fly up and the glitter falls down, and everyone starts to kind of get that same giddiness, that same happiness. This little happy thought and this pixie dust starts to make everyone, even Snow, fly. Everyone starts to rise up into the air, willing or unwilling, happy and maybe a little afraid, probably from Scrap. But as you start to rise up through the air, up through this little almost volcano-looking hole in this cave, you start to rise and fly. And as you fly, you see that Wendy's cape cloak of moss starts to fall apart, fly away. Every piece of glitter and sun that seems to reach her now starts to make the dirt and dust, all the mud and moss and twigs that have collected over the years, the gray in her hair, the wrinkles in her skin, the crow's feet around her eyes. There's still happy wrinkles there, but she's young. She's little. She looks to be barely 13. And she's sitting there in a set of pajamas, a cardigan, some pajama pants, and some slippers. And a still ratty little ribbon in her hair as everyone lands, still sort of laughing, laughter drunk on the beach. As we sort of fade away from this adventure, having successfully found a Wendy bird. Yay! Thank you so much for playing, and thank you so much for watching. I am Faye. I'm Gothic Fairy on socials or Gothic Fairy cosplay. I'm Gothic Fairy on Start Playing. Hey, I actually have this as a one-shot on Start Playing. I also have a campaign on Start Playing. I also have some other things I've meant to publish on Start Playing. So you can find me on Start Playing. You could also find Maddie at Start Playing. Maddie, your turn.
Hi.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Maddie. This here is my channel. I'm not used to I'm used to being last. This is wild. You can find me here on this Twitch channel where every week we usually play Dungeons and Demigods, which is our running campaign of a bunch of demigods in the Percy Jackson world who are fighting against a great evil. We'll see you next week. But also you can find me on TikTok making silly little memes about Dungeons & Dragons and other TTRPGs. You can find me on Start Playing. I don't have any games up at the moment because I have lots going on right now, but I will have some more up super soon. Other than that, please subscribe to my YouTube channel where you will find the VOD of this. We're trying to get partner, and I personally would really appreciate it. This was so fun, Faye. I had so much fun. Stevie!
I am Stevie. You can find me on Instagram at Stevie Bones Cosplay, TikTok just Stevie Bones. I do a lot of cosplay of characters, a lot of my own D&D characters or tabletop RPG characters. Yeah, that's basically it.
Justin.
Hey everybody, thanks again for tuning in. I am GM Justin. You can find me on all my socials at Forever GM Justin, or you can find me over at Roll D5. That's ROLE D5, where we specialize in playing any TTRPGs, and this was a blast. Thank you for having me over. I think the last one is you, FaZe.
I'm FaZe. You can find me basically everywhere at FaZe Night, although it is at FaZe Night _ on Twitter. I am a cosplayer, but I'm also a cast member on the upcoming Death Roll, and we're trying to hit 200 subscribers on YouTube, so go check that out if you want to. But yeah, that's my big pushing thing, whatever. But anyway,
And
yeah, thank you for this adventure.
once again, thank you so much to Fantasy Plus for giving us your music and ambience to use in Dungeons and Demigods. I'm so excited. Please, once again, check out the Kickstarter. This isn't necessarily like a donate thing. You can sign up and get access to thousands of tracks, which are copyright free. If you get them, you can use them in your streams if you're a streamer. They are... No, that's the wrong thing. Why did I was saying Kickstarter and then wrote Kickstarter. There we go. Make sure to check them out and give them some love. We love supporting people in the field. They do what we do. They're incredible. Please show them some love.
Yay! Let's scatter!
Scatter! We will see you next time. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Yeah.